Watching News at Prime, we begin here. Veteran actress and filmmaker Connie Chume has passed away. Her family confirmed that she died at Johannesburg's Garden City Hospital this morning at the age of 72. Chume is best known for her roles in Black Panther, the movie, Rhythm City, Gomorrah and Bless Us. Her son, Nongelo Chume, has honored his mother.
Been in hospital. She was admitted for a medical procedure. She was recovering well, but unfortunately today we then got the news of her passing. But look, we are proud to be her children. I think she's left us a beautiful legacy, and the work that she's done, not only just for her children or her family, but for the community and the country at large. As you would know, Mom Connie was one of the most notable icons coming from South Africa, and her work through activism on HIV and AIDS program, gender-based violence, on voter education in 1994. Those are all things that we take as inspiration, and we look forward in continuing her legacy as her children. She was a hard worker, she was a visionary, and I think one of the most things that kept her going is her faith. You know, she had so much faith in terms of how she connects with her spirituality and all that. Going was definitely the motivation of where she comes from, because she was this little girl from Free State with big dreams, and listening to her telling her dreams at a younger age, she lived those dreams because she dreamt of being in world stages, she dreamt of going to London, and these are all things that she has achieved. She's traveled the world, she's received awards from all over parts of the world. Very few people do know that she has also received an honorary award in the United States called the Freedom of the City in Houston, Texas. Part of the many awards that she's received. So that is her legacy, and that is what she's left us behind, and that is what we'll be continuing to build on.
Let's get more reaction now, and we are joined by fellow actor Jack Devnarain, who joins us all the way from Rio in Brazil. Jack, good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time. Let's get your reaction on the passing of Mom Connie as we are calling her tonight. You know, this is someone who was 72 years of age, so much legacy she has left behind.
Indeed, we were talking about her legacy when the last time I saw her was about a year ago, when she received her Lifetime Achievement Award at the Royalty Soapy Awards. And she gave a speech that was so heartfelt. There was so much passion in her voice and in her vision for the industry. And I remember what followed was a visit by the former minister Zizi Kodwa to discuss, you know, how to change the industry. And it was awful that, you know, for political purposes, that political players wanted to use her in order to gain mileage and take photo ops, when all she wanted to do was to make sure that her legacy was being protected.
Mm. Have you ever worked on set with her, Jack? And if so, what memories do you have of her on screen?
I am so sad to say I've never had the opportunity of ever having worked with her. It was always, it's a dream for somebody like me to come into the industry and to work with her as an iconic performer, as a veteran. It's something that you hold so dear, and I've only ever seen her when we had industry engagements, and you could see that she brought as much to those discussions as she did to her craft. And that was important to me, because it reminded me that performers need to be activists as well, and she was exactly that kind of personality. If there was something in the industry that she wasn't happy with, she was going to say it. Yeah. And we actually don't have enough performers like that.
Jack, I'd like to keep you on and help join this conversation Rami Chuene, a fellow actress. Rami, good evening to you, and thank you for your time. You know, I feel so honored tonight talking to the greats in this industry, albeit under very sad circumstances. Talk to us about your reflections and reaction on the passing of Connie Chume.
Good evening, Polly, and good evening to the viewers, and hello, Jack, on the other side. This has just been one of the most unexpected and shocking news that we received today, that Mom Connie Chume has passed on. You know, you know, every time you think of Mam Connie, you see this lively, bubbly, full of energy kind of person. You know, there's a saying in Sesotho, like in Black Star, we say, slender never gets tired. And that's what Mam Connie was. You know, we never think Mam Connie will ever get tired. We never imagine Mam Connie getting sick, you know, let alone passing on. And this has just come as such a very devastating thing to happen to us as the entertainment industry. And in the same breath, I'd like to convey my deepest condolences to her family, to her loved ones, and to the country at large. Oh, Batong, my baby. That used to be her favorite phrase, Batong, my baby. And it's just so unbelievable.
Jack, let's bring you back. And you were reflecting earlier about how the people in this industry ought to be helped in one way or another cement what they have started as a legacy that people like Connie Chuene, Connie Chume are leaving behind. Talk to us about what you think her legacy is going to be. I mean, she's been in roles such as, or in movies such as Black Panther, and then you have local sitcoms, Gomorrah. It's one of those that Rami has just referred to, and that's where she would constantly use this phrase, what is the phrase again? The phrase that she's just used now, oh, my baby. And that was the sort of the way that she would express herself watching her on screen. The legacy that you think she is leaving behind, Jack?
We all have different ways of remembering Mam Connie, and I think her legacy will mean different things to different people. We want to immortalize her because we all see ourselves as her children in some funny way, because, you know, that's how we show respect to our elders in the industry in particular. And I'm glad you referenced Black Panther, because the one thing that keeps me going is the fact that we haven't achieved the revolution in our industry that we needed to. We haven't achieved transformation in our industry. She was there to witness it. And in her name, in her honor, I must continue this fight, because for all the work that she's done over the last 40-something years, she will not be paid a cent. Her legacy is going to be insulted if we don't achieve the kind of transformation we need. Her family must be paid compensation for all the work that she's done. Her estate deserves to be paid for all the work that she's done. And what you're going to have is that a number of broadcasters will continue to play her work. They will continue to stream it. They will put it on repeat. And they will, you know, they will continue to be earning money from her work.
Yeah.
What goes to her family? And we cannot, you know, simply remember and celebrate her without talking about the absolute injustice of what is being done to insult her memory.
Rami, let's conclude the conversation perhaps and talk about or borrow from what Jack is saying, that the one thing that could make her memory live, make sure that her estate remains solid so that it leaves something for her children, it is that this industry must be transformed in one way or another. At a time like this, I know that it is not a time for recriminations, but you are going to have people in authority, such as the Minister of Arts, Culture and Sports, going to pay tributes. And I know that the current minister, I think at some point they said they don't want to be the ministers that go and pay tributes whenever another artist passes away. What should be the role of those in authority in memorializing people like Connie Chume?
I definitely echo Jack's sentiments that, you know, this has just been an ongoing battle for years, and we cannot wait. It has been so, like, traumatizing and just so tedious and so infuriating that we still keep singing the same chorus over and over again. And yes, I also hope and pray that Minister Gayton is not going to be the minister of congratulations and condolences only, but we need to see action, especially when it comes to the rights of the entertainers in our country, our royalties. The shows will be repeated as Jack has just mentioned, and we just like that kind of memory, that kind of legacy to be properly protected, and not just protected, to also be rewarded accordingly, because this is such work that is like worldwide. I mean, Mam Connie started overseas. I mean, before she came back into the country, she's been a worldwide icon. She doesn't start now. And a name like that, honestly, has to be lived up to, especially when it comes to our department protecting and also making sure that the legacy continues. And we also want to see that in monetary value. We don't just, okay, it's nice to be buried at West Park and have a beautiful tombstone and be immortalized like that, but we also want to see the works of your hands being continuously rewarded by the people in power, so that we do not forget that. We don't want to be continuously naming people from, say, Mam Connie, in the same breath we talk about Makatini, we talk about all these artists, and we keep saying, oh no, they haven't been paid, they haven't been given their royalties. We need to pay respect where respect is due, and we need to do it accordingly. And those things like royalties, the rights, the intellectual property, the dividend, whatever it is that is due to our artists, we need to make sure that that is carried out properly. And the time is now. It's been a long time standing and been waiting for these kind of changes to happen. And we cannot, each and every time when one of the artists departs, and we mention the same stories over and over again.
Rami Chuene, actress, thank you very much for your time and reflections on the passing of Umam Connie Chume. Jack Devnarian, joining us from Brazil this evening. Thank you very much for your reflections, Jack, and may you be safe traveling back to South Africa.